saying that the parking lot's full. No point paying for parking when you have at least a 2 or 3 car waiting period. This guy who's just bicycled ahead of me, I passed him all over the island. He must be bicycling all over the island instead of just bicycling down Sandcap Road or someplace. Okay, I just had a wardrobe malfunction with my glasses here. It's terrible. The glasses are on precariously. I'll have to fix them when I get the lens in. Alright. Hopefully my camera doesn't flip off. 25 miles an hour. Oh, great. Alright, so let me increase my speed here. Now you're looking at between $3 and $10 million each one of these homes here, either side of the road. So you got waterfront property pretty much on both sides of the road. This is the best property because you're closest to the exit. Hello. There's no sidewalks here, so this is what the road used to look like on Sanibel all over, where you just had a wide shoulder, if there was a shoulder, that is. And you bicycle. Okay. Fort Myers Beach used to look like this. If I tell you the truth, Estero Boulevard down Fort Myers Beach was nicer when it had just a wide shoulder, because you know, if a car broke down, you could pull off onto the wide shoulder. Bicycling, you don't have to worry about obstructions like curbs or drains in the way. The road was elevated, and if there was water, obviously the water would flow off the road. And now they made Fort Myers Beach, they actually lowered Estero Boulevard. So I've seen it in the summertime when it rains, it gets flooded and it's like a lake because Estero Boulevard is lower than the surrounding area, and the drains get filled up almost immediately. So it's kind of silly. I don't know who planned that, but they should be fired. Yeah, this design is the best. The road's elevated. It's got a wide shoulder. The water runs off. You don't need sewers. The retention area is just off the road. That's where it retains. If the road is higher than the surrounding area, it doesn't matter. The retention area is off the road, and that's how it should be. There's a lot of blind curves here everywhere. In fact, I just passed a car that thought they owned the road. They're about to hit me. Alright. Now, of course, this is Sanibel Island. I mean, this is Captiva Island, so it's tradition to have, everyone has a different name in front of their place, and normally it means that somebody bought this, and you get hit with an exorbitant amount of taxes to live on this island, so you have to rent your property. It's it's almost as if it is a timeshare. I don't care if you own it or what, but you own the property, and then you pay a real estate management company to rent it out, because you need to cover the exorbitant amount of property taxes that state of Florida, Lee County, whatever, is going to charge you. So unless you're just so filthy wealthy that you don't need a sign up, everybody has a sign. If you see a sign up that says like South Haven, or that's the name for the real estate company to market your property. Go to South Haven. It's a full house. And you'll be paying like $5,000 to $10,000 a night to rent the house. Maybe more. Who knows? But I don't know. People are building mega mansions here, so it's got to be profitable. I would say any movie star or anybody in North America who wants a secluded, nice spot where people are downright respected, they come here to Captiva. And Sanibel to a lesser extent. Captiva is a little more private. There's a lot less tax on Captiva because Sanibel is a city where Captiva is still unincorporated Lee County. So Captiva a little more private, a little less city. Same amenities, less crime. Yeah, it's beautiful. So if you had $10, $20 million and you're fearful of the stock market, you're fearful of commodities, you're fearful of cryptocurrency, and you want appreciable value, well, here it is, right here at Captiva. you spend a lot of money, it'll be tied up. Captiva's not going away. Even the hurricanes that have hit it, okay, you've had one hurricane open up. North Captiva was split in two by a hurricane about 15, 20 years ago, but it shored back up. The islands, I think it was North Captiva split into two. So it was North Captiva and then South North Captiva. But no, they both rejoined. Oh, hit another one of those unexpected bumps. I'm looking with one eye on the road, but I guess I missed that one. There seems to be always development going on. I mean, there's always, not just one, but probably about a dozen buildings being developed. They buy the old property for $1 million. Well, $1 million. Wow. I mean, that's a steal. If you could buy an old property for $1 million, put $1 million into it to make it nice, and or even $2 million, turn around and sell it for $5 million. Easy within 1 year. That's easy money. You just have to. You have to either be your own subcontractor, or you just have to know a reliable contractor that's not going to grind you. Because believe me, there are those contractors that will. But I'm looking at some of these homes. I can find the same type of quality homes on Fort Myers Beach. Those homes are between $1 and $2 million. You know, some of the, obviously the homes right on the water, right on the Gulf, they're going to run more, between 2 and 5 right now. And some of those exquisite homes like Mandalay, we passed. Well, that's the top of the bell curve. That's the top mark, 25 million. I'm trying to think if there's any other properties here. There are some properties on Captiva that come close. And there are some properties on West Gulf Drive that are pretty exquisite as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything on the back bay. The dunes, there's a couple things off of Tarpon Bay Road, or is it Dixie Beach? I think it's called Dixie Beach Road, that are right on the water that are pretty exquisite. And then the Yachtsman, North or South Yachtsman, I forget, by the Sanibel Lighthouse. You have some properties in there that are alright, but nowhere near 25 million. But then again, property right now in Florida, because of this viral, whatever you want to call it, and fear of war, and where are you going to be in Florida? Well, Orlando. Again, I'm not a fear monger. I would live in Orlando. Everything's nice. It's getting crowded up there, though. Taxes are ridiculous. Same thing with Miami. Laws, taxes, ridiculous. You're at build out. Trump's got good property. He's got a lot of airplanes flying over his house. So West Palm Beach is nice, but if you're in a direct path of airplanes landing and taking, especially in an airport that they have dual runways like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, where you got two planes landing and taking off at the same time. That's really noisy. I personally need a house where I can sleep at night. Now, I need it dead quiet, and I don't have triple pane windows. So I live in an area that is foremost. I need clean air and quiet. And the community I live in, it's got clean air and it's quiet. So let's just put it this way: you spend a third of your life sleeping, you better enjoy it. So get yourself a place where you can sleep nice. If you're not well rested, you wake up in the morning, you can't function. And then your body is looking for that next night to regenerate. And if you can't regenerate every night, you'll be a grumpy old person. So it's important to get a place where you can sleep at. Now, if you could afford the money and get triple pane glass, you get styrofoam injection concrete that's a foot thick, you have soundproofing everywhere, you have a concrete roof, yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll sleep pretty good at night. Especially with a nice air conditioner. Continuous cold system, continuously on, like the water drip systems. Those are the best because you want that steady airflow, not You don't want that stop and go stuff because then you have uneven cooling areas of your house. You want continuous flow so that eventually the whole house is just nicely cooled. And that way you won't have like a gust of dust blowing through the house either. Sometimes the air conditioner kicks on, just sucks up that dust everywhere. You're continuously on. Of course, dust settles under the bed. You know where to mop. That's where it is, in the closet and underneath the beds. All right. Anyway, let's get back to business ideas. The business idea I had in Fort Myers Beach, and it works the same here in Sanibel. And it's like one of the best business ideas. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but they have on Fort Myers Beach, they have ice cream carts that sell ice cream, and some of them sell chips, and they sell drinks too. Well, I saw to say drinks, usually soda or juice or water. They don't sell really hard liquor. You have to go to an establishment like that. Those businesses are good too. If you can get one of them on Fort Myers Beach, probably the permitting is exorbitant, but right now there is just a need. I don't even see those ice cream trucks go more than 100 yards. They're sold out already within like 20 minutes. And then they got to push it back to where they came from, restock, and go back out again. I only see 2 of them on Fort Myers Beach. They could use about 8 of them. But what I was thinking would be a great idea is a lot of people on the beach don't just want ice cream, they want a burger. The problem is that there's not enough fast food places on Fort Myers Beach. You have Dairy Queen. It's okay, but there's a long line there. There's a couple little known hamburger joints. Most of them are restaurants. They really want you to sit down. It's hard to get you're not sitting on a table. It's hard to get service. Even if you stand at the bar. And the prices are a little more than what I think is decent. They have to pay for their overhead. But if you had a pontoon boat, now hear me out on this. If you had a pontoon boat and you made it so that part of the pontoon boat is where you're doing grilling, kitchen activities. There's a drink machine, an ice cream machine, or an ice cream display like French fry freezer where you can open up a glass window and maybe scoop your own ice cream, or have someone scoop the ice cream for you. And it's on a pontoon boat. You get the pontoon boat within 4 or 5 feet of the shore and have like a little plank you could lay down where people could walk up the plank into your boat. Just imagine that. You could be only 5 feet offshore with barbecue hamburgers, ice cream, drinks, and you could sell it for half the price that the restaurants are selling it for. And you're right there on the beach. Just the people have to wade in the water for a little bit. And you can give them you could let them borrow like trays. They could take the food off the boat, or give them those Burger King style cardboard cup and burger holders. And you can make serious money with a pontoon boat with selling food. So that is the idea for Fort Myers. That's an idea for all over Florida. And you get away from, hello, you don't have to put up with licensing laws, and you just have to have the maritime laws. So I don't know what that implies with, but as long as you're anchored and you have life vests for all that's aboard, you may have to limit the amount of people on board to the amount of life vests that you have on board, but once one person walks off the boat, the next person could walk on. Hello. So a lot of these people are walking home from church. There's a church over here. And there's a little convenience store, so. Hello. So right now we're on Sandcap Drive. We're coming up to Jensen's. I better cross the road because I'm going to get with oncoming traffic. This guy Jensen's, he has a story. He used to own He used to run some outrigger thing, and he bought some condos. He's parlayed that now into this Jensen's big. This is going back 30 years. He's just somebody that just toughed it out through all the hurricanes, all the turmoils, and when you're young, 20 years old, that's the time to go for it. That's the time to work 24/7. You want to build that career first. You want to build your empire first. And once you have it, the sky's the limit. But you don't want to be distracted from that. You want to stay focused. Okay, on the left-hand side is the Island Store. Tesla. That's a cool place, especially for ice cream. But again, you're not on the beach. So the people that are hungry right then and there on the beach, we're talking about ice cream. We just passed the ice cream parlor. That's brand new. I've never seen that one before. So all these places are crowded. There's a real estate office. Beach stuff. That's a neat store. So here's somebody sinking probably tens of millions of dollars to build this. And just the permitting, you're going to get hit with an impact fee. So there's also another little grocery store up here. It's on the second floor. I forget the name of it. So coming up here is Chadwick's, and this used to be on Sundays. They have this is going back now 30 years, but they had a brunch up here, and it was fantastic. I'll show you where it is. Southeast Convention Center for weddings. If I was getting a wedding, I would have it at the Sanibel Lighthouse or just have it on the beach in general. That's where most people have theirs. But now this is Doc Boyd's. But this used to be a little bit back in there. I think Doc Boyd's is where it is right now. But that's where Chadwick's had its brunch, and it was catered. So it was $13 all you could eat. And that's fantastic. So just wonderful. Here's where you go play tennis. These condos right here. This is an awesome spot. So I like how you have it obscured, so when you're playing tennis, you won't be distracted by people or cars. There is a trend though here in Florida to convert tennis courts to pickleball courts. So you're going to see these things that look like half-width courts, and that's the pickleball, which is sad in a way because tennis. People when they think of playing sports on a court, think of tennis, but pickleball, there's less injury and there's less cost because you're dealing with you don't have to string a racket because you're using a paddle ball, and you're not really using a tennis ball, you're using a rubber ball. So it's so this is the main South Seas. Either renting or come here, check in. I did go around the guardhouse. That's the sneaky way of doing it. If you're on a bicycle, you can get around the guardhouse by going through Chadwick's. There's another way you can go on the beach and get around. Okay, I have to dismount here because there's a bump. There's no ramp. I have a friend that rents, I have a cousin that rents back in here. And he doesn't do it annually, but he rents like every third year. He's got a large family. He enjoys it. I mean, it's really secluded. And price-wise, South Seas Plantation, well, at times it is expensive, but then again, there are those people that buy timeshares, and people for some reason think that South Seas Plantation is off limits. They think there's it's a barrier, so they rent everywhere else on Sanibel, but they don't think about renting here. So if you want to get, an accommodation, if you could find someone who owns property here, they'll give you even a better deal. So you can rent for a longer amount of time, like 2 or 3 weeks, even a month, and pay on average less cost than it would be to rent elsewhere on Captiva for sure. That where we passed the island mark there, I forget the name of the street there, but that's pretty much the main drag of Captiva. And you have I forget the name of I think it's some kind of turtle thing at the end. But there's a restaurant at the end there, and you got the bubble room at the foot of that road. That's just where all the nightlife is. But I per se don't want to live on a street with nightlife. I want to live, again, a quiet place where I can sleep at night. Because if I'm going to be enjoying Sanibel, I want to sleep good at night because I'll be exhausted. Be out tennis, bicycling, beach, any other activities, paddling, boating, golf. I come home at night, I'll just want to, I don't even know if I want a cordial before I hit the bed. I just want a nice kind of like cool shower, not cold, but not warm. And then, oh man, I'll be out for 6 hours. 6 hours dead out. But the key is you want to get up early enough to experience Sanibel morning because that's gorgeous. So sunrise around 6 o'clock. A lot of these people are touring South Seas Plantation, so they have real estate people in that office. And speed limit here is 19, so it's about as fast as a golf cart goes. Hello. It's just gorgeous here. This is what Periwinkle Way and some of the areas used to look like. Well, the road wasn't so beautiful, but off towards the right, Pine Island Sound is just about 20 yards beyond these mangrove right here. If you're playing at the Wolford Golf Course on Sanibel, some of the fairways come right up to the water, just like that, Pine Island Sound. So the fairway, you got not even 20 feet sometimes, or 20 yards, sometimes 5 feet of mangrove. Well, the fairway, the rough, let's put it this way, the rough sometimes is only about 2 feet wide. You got the fairway, which isn't wide either. You got the rough about 2 feet, and then you have the tidal estuary of Pine Island Sound. So if you shank a ball, you're done. If you want to play golf in Werford, the Sanibel Dunes has a lot of water hazards. That too. Middle Gulf Drive has a lot of water hazards. South Seas Plantation is the other golf course. South Seas Plantation is 9 holes. You just go around twice. It's a gorgeous course though. But you really have to be an expert golfer. We're gonna bicycle around the golf course here at South Seas because they have nice cobblestone golf cart lanes, and it's just totally awesome to bike on. So I must be going about 19 miles an hour now. I'm trying to up it a little bit. South Seas Plantation is like kind of cut in half a little bit. There was a stretch of old Sandcap Road. I don't even know if you call it Sandcap Road. There was an old stretch of Captiva Road that the homeowners didn't want to sell the South Seas Plantation when South Seas was being put together in the mid-70s. So they held out a little bit, and South Seas just bought around them. So this portion coming up on the left-hand side is not necessarily all South Seas. I'm pretty sure by now South Seas Plantation has bought all the homeowners. Come time, they had the financial resources to buy them all out. And I'm pretty sure all the homeowners here eventually sold. But on the left-hand side is the condos that were put up. People did have private homes here. One by one, they bought the private homes up. And they put in, obviously, if you buy a home for $1 million, you could put 16 condos and sell them for $1 million a piece. That's smart, right? Exactly. So that's why they're able to buy the homes out for $1 million a piece, which back in the mid 70s was a nice tall sum. Now $1 million, some of these condos, that's a bargain. That's a discount. See, some of these homes, Fish Hawk reminds me of the Sandcap Road before. Some of these people, maybe private homeowners, so some of these homes are huge. Probably 12 bedrooms. Look at them, two-story. Looks like some of the homes in, that movie Scarface, but I know Scarface was filmed in LA somewhere. They may have gone too far. Miami filmed a little bit, but that was just the beach scenes. I've been in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where they filmed the Spider-Man movies and a couple other movies there, because Cleveland looks like New York City, and the Cleveland government is very receptive to movie companies coming there and filming whatever. Cleveland, in 1935, Cleveland was the 5th biggest city in America. Not so today. Today it's more of an empty shell, but it still has the old buildings. You haven't all fallen down yet. And, Tower City, downtown Cleveland. That's where the trains and bus stations go. It's still a pretty awesome city to walk around. You gotta be careful though. Definitely walk in a crowd, or just make sure you know what you're doing there, because there are a lot of people that are living below the poverty line there, so just gotta be careful with Cleveland. Out here in Sanibel, I would say I must be the poorest person here. I'm doing pretty good. All right. Morning. Alright, so we're gonna look at some of these yachts here. So we just passed one restaurant. All these people walking around here, they're wealthy, I'm telling you right now. Right? So you have $1 million yachts we're passing. Again, if you want to buy a yacht, you have $1 million, you don't want to pay $60,000 in property tax a year. It's an advantage to buy a yacht, because yeah, you can sink all your money in a yacht, and true, your yacht could sink and that could be all your money, but yachts hold their values, and you can go anywhere you want. Well, a boat is like a camper. A camper goes on land and a boat goes on water. And a boat, you're not limited to where in the water, you're just limited to water. Whereas a camper, you're limited to land. You're not limited to where on the land you can go, unless somehow you can't find a trailer park somewhere. But a boat, you don't have to moor it on land. You can have your little dinghy. Your dinghy can take you. Oh, there's a dolphin. We just missed it. There's a dolphin right here. I see him right here. He's right by that boat, right over there. You just come up. There he is. Yeah. Right at the southeast. A lot of the dolphins spawn here. There's a lot of their young. And they teach their young how to catch bait fish here. Well, I say bait fish. You know, fish that are smaller than 2 or 3 inches. So some of the dolphins that are sick come in here. They know people will feed them. They know fishermen will feed them. And so dolphins are pretty smart. They know that humans are not aggressive towards them. Humans love to see dolphins, and dolphins know that. There's a pelican. He's probably looking at the dolphin. There's a dolphin's corralling the fish right there. Dolphin's probably hanging out under the boat where the shade is, or under the dock. That's where all the bait fish hang out too. It's too hot in the water. There's some birds on the other side. Oh, they see the dolphins on the other side where the birds are. You know, the canal. That the wall over there. And there he is. He's going out. So the tide looks like it's coming in a little bit, so the dolphin's going out. He's probably catching the fish that are coming in too. All right. So yeah, oh, we got some nice turbulence coming in here. Some little swells. There's Pine Island Sound out here. There's Pine Island. I guess toward the left there, that's Pine Island. Let's see, we're at Captiva, so we're about midway through Pine Island. Pine Island's a long island, it's about 12 miles long. And this is Pine Island Sound. So it's pretty shallow though. I mean, you're not, maybe at high tide, maybe 12, 15 feet deep max. Unless you're in one of these channels here, it could be 16, 20 feet deep, but that's only artificially dredged. So you see a lot of green area out there, and a lot of manatees live out there, and dolphins all over the place. Dolphins don't tolerate sharks, so they scare them away. So anytime you see a dolphin around, dolphins are like puppy dogs. They're very protective of their area, especially if they have little children around, like little dolphins. The big dolphins will scare any other predators, especially sharks. I don't know if there's any barracuda fish out here. I doubt it, but they'll scare anything away. Even the dolphins will try to push the manatees away. They're just very, very protective. All right, so we're coming up a pond. I'm gonna have to go this way because I know there's like some people over there, and the walkways get a little unpredictable with people venturing into the walkway. So I'm gonna go this way. We're going to the golf course right now, so I just wanted to check out the marina area. And I saw a dolphin. That was awesome. This is a water park, South Seas Plantation. I don't know exactly when it's open, but it's always crowded. And you have to have, it's expensive to get in there, and you have to have a wristband to get in. But I remember once they opened it up free, and to everyone on Sanibel Captiva, as long as you bought a bridge toll to get in, I'm telling you, holy mackerel, they only did that once because it was crowded. And they can only let a certain amount of, it's called willywags, but it's just really rudimentary, but it's still pretty cool. And it's something to do. And again, if you're rich, it doesn't really matter. I mean, going to one of these pools is pretty awesome too. On Sanibel, me and my children, it's never ending. We'd be going between the beach and the pool is ice cold. For some reason they didn't heat it, but still it's refreshing. You get off a hot beach, you want a cold pool. You jump in, you get that initial shock, but then it becomes just totally enjoyable. And all that sunburn is being cooled down. And this is part of the water park that I can almost look in. It's a beautiful pool. It's like one of those not a wave pool, but it's like one of those pools that you see at Universal Studios Orlando, where it's kind of like shallow and you can just walk right in like a beach, but it's concrete, but it's like a nice cushy it's like probably a rubberized coating on the bottom. Anyway,